welcome back to my film and TV channel and back to reality TV and The Apprentice. Yes, we're going to have a look at week 2, have a quick look at how the candidates are moving along. Did I find anyone else to interest me this week and put out there as a chance to win this, or did I find anyone else to annoy me? Rather than the two guys that are currently annoying me, that's for sure. So week 2 was creating a virtual pop star. Not my sort. I do like singing. Yeah, well, if you can call it singing. But of course, this was the 6th of February 2025. We've got a pop star to create with 9 boys and 8 girls left in it, fighting it out for Sugar's 250,000 and to avoid his dreaded finger, of course. We don't want to see those fingers. The two at the moment who annoy me, if you watched last week's episode 1, are Nadia and Carlo. And not just me, they're annoying everybody. And my likes last week, based on week 1, just Dr. Jana. I liked him last week, but we'll talk about him later because interestingly enough. And last week, very quiet, who flew under the radar, of course, I thought Amber, Mia, Evine and Jordan. So interesting that a couple of those would have a big say in who was going and who was staying in this one. And sadly last week we lost Emma Rothwell, who didn't show Sugar enough fight, I don't think, in the boardroom, although in the task she was far from the most culpable on the failure. So I thought she was a little bit unlucky last week to go. Not so much the one who went this week. Yeah, it was to create a virtual pop star, record a single, make a music video, plus launch event to get brand deals as well. I mean, we know they don't actually get them, so of course when these guys come and do this thing, it's like they're giving money away, but they're not, because they don't. But it's interesting, isn't it? How do they play it? How do these brands play it? I mean, I know they try and be realistic, but I'm sure there's an element, because you know it's not real. It's like playing poker. If you play poker not for money, just play it for fun with fake money. It's not the same as playing it for real, is it? But hey, there you go. Quite daunting, really, isn't it, to do, I think, this task this week, for me anyway. Amber and Jordan go for the PM. Amber easily wins that. Nice to see at least Jordan coming out of his shell, because he was very quiet last week, which for the gift of the gab of an Irishman is very unusual. Anissa was wanting PM again, and they all agree without a fight. I didn't think that'd go down too well with Sugar, actually, the others not putting themselves up, but he seemed happy enough anyway. Of course, we'll find out later how that panned out for Anissa. Jordan not being listened to, but he was trying at least, which is good. Chisola and her team, I think when they started making their tune up, it felt like a bit Christmassy to me. I don't think that was what they were going for. And even if later on, when it was finished, it still had I think the first line reminded me a little bit of Christmas, but it was all right after that. And of course, we've got the Bammy. We got the Bammy, haven't we? As Amber takes control. She's playing a risky game. If she loses against Surely, Sugar's choice is an easy one. Of course, if this fails, she won't get much support from her team. That's the problem. She's just alienating and telling them all to shut up, basically, and listen to Amber. Carlo had been strangely quiet, and then all of a sudden Max mentions it, pokes the bear, and it all kicks off again. But Carlo never really contributes this week, for whatever reason. We'll see how he pans out later. Jordan, after being ignored, starts to be a little disruptive then, when his thoughts are ignored. But at least he's getting involved. At least he's putting himself out there. Bammy was an interesting look. Of course, it was compared to a sort of mum, a sort of older lady. It looked like an extra from The Walking Dead to me, the actual figure they come up with. Though, of course, all credit to Anissa. She tries to stay positive anyway and get on with it, which is to her credit. Carlos again came in for some stick later in the programme. The Bammy song, they did like it when they finished it, and at least past that first line. As I said, I didn't think Christmas, but I thought both tunes, considering, were okay. Of course, we'll talk about the subtitled one, which we needed, because Frederick was AI'd, wasn't he? He was AI'd out of it, unfortunately. So I thought Nadia did a good turn, but as a couple, when they were doing the little bit at the end, I thought that was quite catchy. I did like that. Of course, when they looked over to the public to see what they thought, Anissa's team and that Bammy song went down pretty well. Yeah, not so much the image, but we knew that, didn't we? And old Fred and Nats got nil point for their song. Anyway, Anissa and Nadia at it again, arguing, Nadia rubbing people up the wrong way. Who'd have thunk it? Nadia's not keeping her head down, that's for sure. I mean, based on last week, you thought she might have reined it in just a little bit. The pitch, yeah, Anissa spoke very well for Bammy. I thought she did extremely well. Jordan talked well when it came to his turn, but Emma stuttered a bit, though, or the one remaining Emma. Hopefully not another Emma for the chop. And with the brands, yeah, Nadia just showed rudeness. See, Nadia has a lot of good points. Nadia has a lot of salient points to make. The trouble is, he's not very tactful at making them, and of course, it rubs the other candidates up, and it also rubs customers up or potential clients up. So she needs to rein that in, because she does have some valid points, but unfortunately it's just the way she goes about getting them across. Liam popped up a bit this week, until Nadia jumped in and shut him up as well. Anissa's $250,000 deal, of course, we would find out later on that it's probably only 50k, because you've got a get out clause of a year. So yeah, Lord Sugar certainly made her know that later on in the boardroom. And yeah, they had a bit of a quibble out the Bammy microphone, didn't they, about it being a suppository or even a ladies thing, you know, what they call well, I can give you a brand names, but yeah, it's just a strange. I thought it was a good try to put the microphone in, but it didn't quite work. And of course, Carlo chipped in when there was questions about the microphone and said he had zero involvement in it. Again, probably a bad move unless they win the task, of course. Sugar confirms, of course, to Anissa, and Anissa smiles desserts so that the 50k is being put aside for Alfa Romeo. And Melika almost faints on the back row, and she just thought, yes, she said, that's George Sugar. But they did pretty well, didn't they? 215,000, I think they did well to get that. In real life, they probably wouldn't have got anything, let's be honest. As I said, it's hard to gauge, isn't it? Anissa's PM gamble paid off. And Carlo escapes after a sulky mad ass week. I think that's all we can say about Carlo this week. Amber Rose, 112k, not bad. Not bad for subtitles, but not good enough. Amber Rose, Evan and Nadia all came back in, of course, so we knew we'd lose another girl. Amber Rose I thought was reasonable as a PM, but she was quite lucky that Evan was so poor, I think. Nadia, as mentioned, is hanging by a thread, and there's no tact there whatsoever. Even when she has a good point to make, she doesn't do it very well. So she was lucky in the fact that Evan was poor last week, and probably a good shout to go this week as well. And her only contribution to this task was, of course, changing the voice to the chipmunk voice, so that wasn't gone well. So I think Nadia and Amber were quite fortunate that Evan Walsh was the one to go. Just a quick word on Evan. I did say when I did my preview show that she looks a little bit scary. She's from County Donegal, of course. And you know what? I watched her come on You're Fired, and she should have gone with that look. She didn't look as scary. She looked quite nice, I thought, on You're Fired. Do you agree? Of course, when she featured on that. So I think she should have gone with that look. She looked too, I don't know, what's the word? Hard. She looked a bit hard, actually, in the show. But, of course, as I say, there was a softer side to that we saw in the You're Fired, which she should have gone with. She had 20,000 Instagram followers, which is pretty good, is it? I'm banned from Instagram. I have no idea why. She owns a hair and beauty salon, and she apparently regularly share swimsuit snaps of herself. Well, yeah, of course, you've got to promote yourself. And she is apparently, this is what I'm disappointed about, or she might go on and still do it. She has painted a utility belt, yeah, because I was all excited in the preview show. I was hoping for a bat boomerang or a shark spray in there. I would have been buying that one. Yeah, so apart from the guys we've mentioned, other candidates not really mentioned much. Chisole, I thought, had an okay week. I thought she did okay. Dean was certainly no cheeky chappy this week. He was quiet. Max was also a bit quietish. Mia is a problem. That's 2 weeks now where we've seen very little. If Mia ends up on a losing team, she could be in serious trouble. Emma, again, very occasionally she did sort of stepped up, but a little bit quiet as well. And of course, the Doctor, or Jana, was strangely reined in this week after a really good week last week. He had the bit of the gift of the gab, but he'd gone quiet this week. And Johnny started this very, very well and actually got a couple of points across, and then faded just a little bit. Frederick, his only contribution was chipmunked out, of course. Jordan, a little sulky when not picked as PM or sub-team leader, but at least he put himself out there a little bit this week. And Keir, the odd input, which was better than week one where he was quiet. Liam, really involved this week, though not always constructively, yes, or positively. He did his best, but I don't think a lot of what he was saying helped any, to be honest with you. And Malika was sort of Melika was louder in the boardroom than actually she was during the actual episode itself. So there you go. I'm not impressed this week. The two at the moment who annoy me remain the two that annoy me. Nadia and Carlo. I can't see these two going all the way. And my likes, the Doctor, of course, the cosmetic guy, Jana, or I forgot. I'll have to listen to his name, as I say, because I didn't hardly hear him this week. But Jana spelt anyway. He went down in my estimation this week because he just didn't do much. But perhaps he'll bounce back next week, and because next week we've got you have to negotiate prices next week, don't we? Obviously with that one. But I've no really one outstanding for me at the moment. Let me know if there are for you and people you don't like. Hopefully the same people I don't like. Sugar one-liners. I thought the best one probably in this show was Boardrooms Got Talent. Think of me as Simon Scowl. I thought that was quite good from Lord Sugar. And of course next week, the remaining 16, 9 boys and 7 girls. This has never been done in the history of The Apprentice. So for 2 girls to be kicked out the first 2 weeks, usually because we go girls and boys, and the girls always kick the boys' arse as far as winning the things is concerned. So 16 go discount buy-ins. I think you have to get 9 items, which is one of my favourite, a lot of people's favourites of the episodes. In Stratford upon Avon. Oh, that's got any real big significance. I'm sure old Mr. William Shakespeare will rear his head in some way. So join me next week. We'll run down and see if anyone's impressed me. I say I'm a bit down at the moment. No one's impressed me. I'm only getting frustrated with them. No one's really making me sit up and listen and think, oh, they've got a good chance yet. Let me know what you think anyway. When we get down to the last 10, of course, I'll do a top 10. But it's still early days. But I'm a bit disappointed that my number one guys sort of didn't do much this week. Simple as that. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Great to hear them. Thanks for watching. Please, you want to leave your comments below, or actually if you want to get in contact with me through my various socials, all I have to ask is you stay watching and listening. Right, a quick shout out before we go for my sponsors at the moment. Piat6505, they've got a little eBay shop. They sell movie posters from the 1990s and 2000s, some great films, some great actors, so please check the link in the comments section below and you'll go straight to the shop. I dispatch everything between 24 and 48 hours, so if you see anything there, you want to order it, you can also mention my name. I mean, they are sponsoring me, so I do my little deal as well, so you can get 10% off. If you buy anything, just mention me, so say Bernard sent you, and they'll give you a 10% reduction on your order price. My thanks to Piat6505. If you're interested in sponsoring the channel yourselves, guys, supporting the channel by sponsorship, just let me know. My socials are on screen there, so just contact me about that and we can have a chat. Other ways to help me out, guys, if you watch the ads, if the ads on this, YouTube ads, that helps in a very little way, but it all helps. Watch the pennies and pounds look after themselves, they say, don't they? Or the pennies or the 10p's look after themselves. But if you watch the ads or follow the links on the ads as well, that's always a nice way to support the channel. If you sort of hang on for it, I've done that. I watched other people's and followed the ads, something I fancied, which does happen from time to time. Of course, you can support me by pushing that subscribe button as mentioned earlier, and that of course pressing the button so you know when these vlogs are coming out. And of course I'm always interested in your opinions, and of course if you can give us a like, that'd be wonderful as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll join you very, very soon with something else. Until we meet again, I'll never ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.